Weeks into Ukraine's highly anticipated counteroffensive, Western officials describe increasingly sobering assessments about Ukrainian forces' ability to retake significant territory, for senior U.S. and Western officials briefed on the latest intelligence said. They're still going to see, for the next couple of weeks, if there is a chance of making some progress. But for them to really make progress that would change the balance of this conflict, I think, it's extremely, highly unlikely, a senior Western diplomat said. Our briefings are sobering. We're reminded of the challenges they face, said Representative Mike Quigley, an Illinois Democrat who recently returned from meetings in Europe with U.S. commanders training Ukrainian armored forces. This is the most difficult time of the war. The primary challenge for Ukrainian forces is the continued difficulty of breaking through Russia's multi-layered defensive lines in the eastern and southern parts of the country, which are marked by tens of thousands of mines and vast networks of trenches. Even if they would keep on fighting for the next several weeks, if they haven't been able to make more breakthroughs throughout these last 7-8 weeks, what is the likelihood that they will suddenly, with more depleted forces, make them? Because the conditions are so hard. A senior U.S. official said the U.S. recognizes the difficulties Ukrainian forces are facing, though retains hope for renewed progress. We all recognize this is going harder and slower than anyone would like, including the Ukrainians, but we still believe there's time and space for them to be able to make progress. In addition, Western officials say the slow progress has exposed the difficulty of transforming Ukrainian forces into combined mechanized fighting units, sometimes with as few as 8 weeks of training on Western-supplied tanks and other new weapons systems. The lack of progress on the ground is one reason Ukrainian forces have been striking more often inside Russian territory to try and show Russian vulnerability, said a senior U.S. military official. Ukraine's Armed Forces Chief, General Valery Zelenskyy, told U.S. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Mark Milley that Ukrainian forces are step-by-step creating conditions for advancing. Zelenskyy added that he had told Milley that Ukraine's defenses were steadfast. Our soldiers are doing their best. The enemy is conducting active assault actions in a number of directions, but is not succeeding, Zelenskyy told Milley, according to a readout issued by the Ukrainian government. Talking about the situation in the south, where Ukrainian forces have struggled to gain ground, Zelenskyy said, heavy fighting continues, Ukrainian troops step by step continue to create conditions for advancing. The initiative is on our side. These latest assessments represent a marked change from the optimism at the start of the counteroffensive. These officials say those expectations were unrealistic and are now contributing to pressure on Ukraine from some in the West to begin peace negotiations, including considering the possibility of territorial concessions.